Welcome, Scorpios, to your July 2025 angel messages and reading. We're going to be doing an overall view with the Celtic cross. We're going to get some clarification, and then we're going to go week by week. There is so much happening in July. That's why I wanted to come on early. We're doing this marathon all day long. I started at 8 a.m. Central this morning with Aries, and we're just going to keep going until we get to Pisces. So thank you so much for those of you who are joining me live, and thank you to all of you who are watching later. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful you're here. Let's jump into the heart of your spread for July 2025, Scorpios. Scorpio, your heart of your spread is the page of air. Logical, honest, impulsive, curious, challenging information, delays or changes of plans, truth delivered without tact. Now, this is the energy going into July, just kind of acknowledging that maybe recently you learned something that is causing you to change your plans in July. Like maybe you were planning travel and now you're not traveling, or you didn't really want to have to do some traveling and now you are. It feels like this information came through in a little bit of an abrupt way, Scorpios. This could also have to do with somebody in your life. Usually the page cards tends to represent somebody younger than you, but that's not always necessarily the case. It could just be somebody that's an air sign. But I do really encourage you to try to identify what they're talking about here. This is your spiritual team, angels, guides, ascended masters, higher self. We're going to get more clarification, but if any situation or idea, well, this could be an idea. I said idea for a reason. So air could be any new idea came through, but new information or a person popped in when you heard this. Keep that in mind, okay? Because we're going to get some clarification here and see what's going on. Let's see what your challenging energy is here, Scorpios. For Scorpios in July, your challenging energy is Knight of Water. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic. It says falling in love with a wedding proposal, the need to balance emotions, and invitation to a social event. Yeah, again, I think you're changing your plans with something. Maybe you were going to go to some event, and because of this page of air situation, you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. That hurt my feelings, or that made me mad, or like I don't feel comfortable. And you might need to take a different perspective on that. We'll get some information here, but it could be that you need to overcome this emotional energy and take a different approach with it. We'll find out. But it is like this, whatever happened here, this new information, you're like, whoa, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I want to handle this. Like, I'm so upset, or I'm so freaking out about this, like whatever. So you know what this is, okay? And it could be something like, I am recording these early, right? So it could be something that happens between now and the beginning of July. Of course, we'll get clarification. Of course, we will do week by week. But, this invitation to a social event is really standing out for me, Scorpios, because I feel like there's some information that's going to cause you to want to like cancel, or just like you're like, I don't know if I want to give my time and energy to that, So let's see. Let's go to our what you need to know. This is like the subconscious here. So the subconscious card is the 5 of water. Okay, another watery card. Things not turning out the way you hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, and crying over spilled milk. Yeah. So this is the thing we need to avoid. We need to avoid this. Don't spoil something you're looking forward to because page of air. Because somebody said something in a rude way, somebody said something in a hurtful way. I feel like for some of you, this is just like news. Like you learn of something. It's maybe not somebody saying something to you, but you learn of something and you're like, ugh, do I still want to go to that event now that I know that? Do I still want to take that trip now that I know this? But you know what? This is the whole seeing the positive. So in this card, there's still 2 upright cards here. So it's like, how can you make the most of this information? Maybe you were going to travel overseas, and because of this information coming through, now you're just going to travel within the country and you're going to make the most out of that. It could be that you were going to travel, you were really excited, and somebody in your life had a change of plans and now you can't travel at all. Could you do a staycation? You can still like find a way to enjoy something. So we'll get some clarity here, but the main thing to keep in mind here is try not to cry over spilled milk, the things that you cannot change. I think this information that's coming through in the heart of your spread, Scorpios, it's like, I can't do anything about this person or this information or about the way people feel. I can't do anything about it, but I can choose to look at it from like, all right, what can I learn from this? How can I make the most of this? All right, so let's see what's coming up in the recent past that might give us a little clarity about this energy we're coming into July with. Okay, the 9 of Air. Yep. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. All right, so yeah, I do think there's something that's been keeping you up at night, Scorpios. Something you've been worried about, and then it's like you get the information that you were right, but it's like, all right, you couldn't have done anything about it. Like that's what I'm really feeling. It's like you're so intuitive. You're a water sign. You're always good at finding the heart of the matter. Like you can go right to what's going on, and I do think that for some of you, it's like maybe you were even warning people, like, hey, I don't think this is right. I think you need to check your facts. I think you need to look into this again. I'm not sure that the way you're approaching this is very good. And it's like kind of, keeping you up at night because you care. You're so loyal, Scorpios. You're so passionate about people you love. And so this could be a family member, a child, a spouse. It could even be a boss that you really, look up to, but you see them heading down a path that you're like, I think that if you keep doing this, this is not going to be in your highest interest. And then you get this information that is like, yep, I told you. That's what I feel like has been going on for you guys, Scorpios. So here's the thing. You can lead the horse to water. You can't make them drink. That's what's going through my head. There is something that you knew was a likely outcome and you were right. And it doesn't feel good because you didn't want to be right? But how can you learn from that? And then what was the lesson there? Like maybe the lesson is that it's okay that the person didn't listen to you because they're going to learn and grow. And this was an opportunity for you to see, hey, you didn't need to lose all that sleep. You didn't need to worry about this person because this is happening for them and this is their chance to grow. And so I think that energy is really interesting going in. This is very, very different than what I've been getting for the other signs so far today, but we're going to get some clarity here. So if you know what that is, let me know in the comment. You don't have to say what it is, but I feel like you guys were right about something you were worried you were right about. That's like, I don't want to be right about this, but then you are right. And then it's kind of like, well, it is what it is. All right. So let's see what's coming up in the present energy here. All right. So for the present energy, you have another air card here, Scorpios. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth. There we go. A challenging beginning. So yeah, so this is basically saying like, I think you've been really ready to move forward with a relationship, with a project, with a goal of yours. And there's all these external factors going on around you that it's like, guys, would you just listen to me? Like the Scorpios I know, they can like walk into a room of people who have been meeting for an hour over a challenge and be like, boom, right there, you need to change that. And everyone's like, how did you see that? We didn't even see that, So you got to embrace that you are so good, but you also have to let other people catch up with you. Like that's the other thing is I just got tingles down my right side, if that means anything to you, my right calf, my right thigh. Scorpios, sometimes you need to let people catch up to you. Because you are so quick to see the situation and they're like, I'm not ready to hear that. La, 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 la. Do you have people in your life that do that, Scorpios? Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Like, even if you're watching this before July. So this is where you have to like try to go into this 5 of water energy of like, okay, I still have these 2 cups. Like, how can we make the most of this? How can we make lemonade out of these lemons, right? This is not a bad thing at all. This is more of a, you did what you could, Scorpios. You did what you could. And, you might have to just like let the chips fall where they may. Is that the right word? Let the cards fall. I don't know. I always mess up that saying. But that might be what you need to do going into July to make the most out of it. And that's what I really feel like is this is kind of already happened. So you kind of already know what this is. Let's see going into the near future. Let me know if this is resonating with you guys, because Scorpio, this is a lot different reading for you guys than I've been getting for the other signs so far. Okay, 5 of air, another air, lots of air. And you guys, I have shuffled the heck out of these cards in between each reading. That's why I've been a little late. I was trying to come on every half hour for this stream, but I had to spend a little more time shuffling. Let me hold this up for you guys. 5 of air, unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives, yada, 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 repeat, repeat, repeat. But when we get these repeating cards, it's just validation. You were right about something. Review everyone's motives. This is the unconscious part. It's like, maybe this person didn't listen to you, or this thing happened the way it did. This outcome that you didn't like happened because there's a better opportunity coming down. And I mean, there always is a better opportunity. There always is something new. Right now you have some new ideas about some things. So embrace that. And then just before you take action, because it does say challenging beginning, you've got these 4 other people in this card besides you, and maybe nobody is really saying what they want out of something, right? I mean, this could even be, a group of people who are planning an event or a project, and nobody's speaking up and saying, well, I'm here for the public recognition. And the other person is like, well, I'm here because I believe in the cause. And the other person is like, well, I'm here because my mom made me. No, I don't know. But you want to review everybody's motives in the near future. I think that's going to help you with gaining that new perspective and making the most of the 2 cups that are still standing here. All right, let's go into we're going to get clarification, guys. This is going to be a great month no matter what. So let's focus on your personal power to get started here. We have a 10 of water. This is your personal power. I love that. You're a water sign. It says a contented and rewarding family. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So this is your personal power saying that when you focus on being in an environment where you feel secure emotionally, like you feel like you can trust the people around you, you feel like your needs are being met too, because I know, Scorpios, you a lot of times will pour your love and passion into someone or something so deeply, right, that you don't remember to check in and see if the person's returning that. Are they doing their share? Are they putting their love and energy back, right? So your personal power in July is going to come from looking at all your relationships. And this is not just relationship to people. This is your relationship to your creative projects, right? We've got this watery creative energy. This is your relationships to your daily routines, to how you set goals for yourself, how you sell your self-talk, right? We want to focus on this emotional security, and that's going to be your personal power here. So I want to say that your pocket affirmation is something around relationships, but I want to leave it open to you guys for it to not necessarily be a person. It could be, like I said, a relationship to your health, a relationship to your body. So let's do a pocket affirmation here. I easily find trustworthy relationships. I easily find trustworthy relationships. Let's write that in the comment section below. I easily find trustworthy relationships. And you can change that to be present tense if you want, but I feel like because of all this air energy we have here, you just want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that you can trust and energy you can trust, and that can allow you to trust yourself too. So let's do another pocket affirmation. I trust myself. I trust myself. Let's put that in the comment section below. I trust myself, because I feel like with all this air energy around here, you were proven right. You were right about something, but, other people weren't listening to you. So it's just, you could even say, I trust my intuition, but really it's incorporating everything here. I don't know what this was for you guys. This is such a different reading from the other signs that I'm like, I really feel like, we got this for the Virgos too, of people like looking to you for advice after this. They kind of know like, oh, we should have listened to the Scorpios. But let's go into your external factors. We'll get some more clarification here. This is such an interesting reading. 10 of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, stress-related health concerns. Yeah, and this is coming across from these sleepless nights. You've been losing a lot of sleep over this situation, and it's time to get away. Take a break. Like, everybody, a lot of people have been getting, a lot of the signs have been getting, can you take a vacation in July? Or at least take a break. Take some time off. And when you do that, also do it so it's for nurturing yourself. You're not taking time off to go help somebody do all of their work, right? You're doing something for you that's making you stronger. And I do feel like you've just got all this, you've got people around you that are also, they're stressed out and it's affecting your energy. So maybe you need to set some boundaries around that. I feel like, some of you have a work environment where everybody's stressed out all the time. And if they would just listen to you, there's a better way to do it, but they're not ready. They don't want to listen. They have a different reason, right? Like, you see this in like big corporations and stuff where like people know there's a more efficient way to do something, but they're afraid it threatens their job if they share that idea or they implement it. So that could be something that's going on for you too, but you know what this is. Let's see what's coming up in the hopes and fears so we can get to your outcome and then of course your, clarity in, I got to switch the camera here so you can see it. We'll get to your week by week. The High Priestess. All right. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. Yeah. So this is the whole thing. Like you're so intuitive, Scorpios, that you're like, I am listening to my intuition, but nobody else is listening. And so you're being asked to have patience here. Let them catch up with you. That's what I was saying here is like, they might come around to your viewpoint. They might come around and be like, you were right, Scorpio, sorry. Or they may never learn. Like what did my grandma always say? She's like, some people learn from, listening to others. Some people learn from doing it themselves and learning from their mistakes. And some people never learn. And that's their path, Scorpio. So we have to be willing to let them do what's in their path, their growth, their journey. Maybe they'll catch up to your way of thinking, to your new ideas. Maybe they won't. You'll figure that out. Just make sure you're protecting your energy, Scorpios, okay? Let's see what your final outcome is so we can get to your clarity, your clarification cards. Also, there's a little wasp crawling in my window right here, Scorpio. So if that's a meaning for you, it's a little red wasp on the outside there. I always share those other signs. So 3 of Fire is your final outcome. Abundance, things looking very good. Have patience. There's that patience word again. Make long-term plans. Okay, I love this, Scorpios. I was thinking like this reading is so different. Like it's not good or bad. It's just so different from the other signs. And then you have this final outcome card that's like, just be patient. These people will catch up. This is a card of collaboration. I really think that these new ideas that are not launching the way you want them to, if you can just have patience and let people catch up with you, you're going to have all this abundance from this. So July is a month of patience. I've been doing keywords for some signs. So for Scorpios, your keyword is patience. But go ahead and make the long-term plans. Like start visualizing that abundant outcome. Start working on it. We're going to get some clarity here, Scorpios, but I do feel like this is so positive. It's just that you're just like way further ahead than some of the people around you. Like, let's think of it. Let's use a really common example. Do you know how long it took for people to stop relying on their horse and carriage and just finally invest in the automobile? Do you know how long it has taken for the collective energy to start like even considering astrology and intuitive, like a real thing? Like, I mean, we've had time in the past that people have relied on that, but we're finally seeing the collective catch up with what we already know. All of you here already know, which is that we do have this spiritual team helping us, guiding us, our higher self, our angels. This is here for us. You know, these readings are tools. Astrology is a tool. We have these beautiful divine beings helping us. We're kind of waiting for everybody to catch up. And I feel like that's what's going on. So go ahead and make long-term plans. You may be doing something new, Scorpios, that people just, they haven't quite like understood it yet. I mean, how long did it take people to go from the BlackBerry to the iPhone? I don't know. For me, I skipped right over the BlackBerry. I went from the Palm Pilot to the iPhone. All right, let's go to our clarification here. I'm so dating myself, aren't I? All right, what is your first clarification card here, Scorpios? Oh, I'm getting long with you guys too. I'm getting more and more long-winded. Libra was way over too, but it's okay. It's fun. All right, Juniper. Juniper, stand strong. Yeah, you know, this is that patience card again. I think when you have this in this near future, this 5 of air here, let me switch over so you can see it. Coming up in the near future, just stand strong. Just stand in your beliefs. You were right. You know what you were right about. All right, your second clarification card here is I have to read it up close and then I'll show you. The moth and eucalyptus and, oh my gosh, I love these cards, but the writing is so tiny. An ending. An ending. The moth and eucalyptus. Yeah, I think that, you know, you are going to see like some things change, like things come to an end. This thing's not turning out the way you hoped, but it's because it wasn't in your highest good. You were the one that was there for the right reasons. You were the one that was being authentic. You were the one that was speaking up. You were the one that was listening to your intuition. So just trust that these endings are happening for you. And like we said right here, it's going to bring in so much abundance. So plan for that amazing outcome there. All right, we're going to move on to your week by week. Moving right along. As always, a quick reminder, you can sign up for my free newsletter at devondoer.com and get my gift for you. My ebook, Is It a Sign? How to Recognize Signs and discover their meanings. And that will be downloaded for free immediately as soon as you sign up for my newsletter. Plus, the newsletter will keep you informed. It's totally free. It'll keep you informed of the fun things we have going on around here. Like tomorrow, Chris Reck from Minnow Pontero will be back. We're doing rest of the year for the reading to add to this July energy. So you can make those long-term plans, Scorpio. And then today, this, if you're on my newsletter, I was able to let a lot of you know I was doing this kind of impromptu. I planned it last week, but this marathon live stream here so that we could try doing a video for all signs here. And of course, as always, if you haven't already, please share this video with anybody you think it would resonate with. Hit the like button and the subscribe button if you can, if you feel necessary, if you haven't already. All right. For week 1, we have for Scorpios 5 of water. Okay. You had this in your subconscious unknown. So they're validating. This is coming in right at the beginning. I know this says disappointment, regret, forgiveness, but listen, this is because you were trying to help somebody else avoid something, all right? And because they didn't avoid it, they could have, but they didn't, you're having to change your plans, okay? And, for some of you, this is literally like a relationship is going to end because that person wasn't being completely honest with you, or you're now like clear about their motives. And so you're like, okay, this person wasn't being truthful with me. And I think that's part of what's going to be revealed to you. So it's going to be an ending that you recognize like it's time, but not for everybody. Is it a relationship? You'll know what it is for you. The key thing is to focus on forgiving yourself for anything that you feel like, you stayed in a situation too long. Have you ever kicked yourself for staying in an environment too long where the people weren't being honest with you? Please forgive yourself for that. You learned from it, right? This is needing to be compassionate with yourself and say, what did I learn? What were the things going on that intuitively I was like, something was off, right? So I think in week 1, you're going to be having these kind of epiphanies about where you were maybe putting up with something for far too long, just be really compassionate with yourself for that. So let's move on to the week 2 for the Scorpios. We have the 10 of Fire. Okay, we had this as well earlier, overwork, stress, imbalance. This was coming up in your external factors here. Scorpio, this is just making sure you are taking some time away. Take a break. You know, you've had those sleepless nights. You've had this worry, this concern. Can you take some time off? Can you remove yourself from a situation that's just too much of a burden? Okay, and I do think you're going to realize, again, I was putting all the time and energy and love and passion into this, and it was not being reciprocated. Now, again, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a project that you've just been pouring so much time and energy into, and you're the only one who's really doing the work, and somebody else needs to step up. Or it could be that you did it for what you thought were the right reasons, and then ultimately you realize not everybody else had the same motives. You know what I mean? All right, so coming up for week 3 here for the Scorpios, we have the 8 of Air card. The 8 of Air card, self-doubt, confusion, free will. So yeah, so Scorpios, you've had so much air in this reading. I think this is, this is that card about like trusting yourself. Like we said with your personal power. There are going to be things flying around, communication that you're going to be like a little bit like, why did I doubt myself? You know what I mean? Why did I allow this energy to affect me this way? And this is that card of like, I can't tell who is being authentic and who isn't because they're not speaking up. They're not communicating. They're acting funny. But see, what I like about this card too is if this person would turn around and go the other way, there's all this room for abundance. There's all this room for new pathways and new people coming in. And you don't have to stick with the same old, same old. So I think maybe some of you are going to realize you are feeling trapped in a job. You are feeling trapped in a relationship. You are feeling trapped in a routine or a way of doing something in week 3. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. When you have that realization, just remember it's so that you can go higher with something because you had that final outcome card, that amazing, beautiful final outcome card of the 3 of Fire. So good things are coming with all these changes, Scorpio. So let's see what's coming up for week 4. Week 4 is the Justice card. Gosh, it's another sword right here. Fairness, the law, karma. You guys, I want to give you the biggest hug. Can I give you such a hug, Scorpios? We need your expertise, your knowledge, your intuition. We need your decisiveness. You have that clarity here. And I do think you're going to get the recognition you deserve. There are going to be some people saying, we should have listened to you. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to say it to your face, but maybe you're going to find out that like, oh, my friend called me and said they should have listened to you. You know, you might find it like through a third party. But you're going to do what you know is right week 4. And that's going to really help you moving towards the abundance there. All right. For week 5, for the final action, we have the 7 of Fire. 7 of Fire, challenge, determination, resistance. Yeah. Look at this person is up above all these other wands. You just can't make this stuff up. This is saying like people are going to realize, oh, wow, like we should have listened to Scorpio because they're up there able to see all their options from one place. And they're in a position of, as Chris Reck, my good friend Chris Reck, which will be here tomorrow from Minnow Pontero, he talks about like that in a 7 of Wands card, which is what this is in the tarot deck, you're up able to see things that other people can't see because you're up higher. You're on higher ground. I love that he uses that analogy because I had never thought about that when I used to see 7 wands till I met Chris. And it's so true. You have the advantage. You're on higher ground. This is also literally taking the higher ground. So maybe you have the opportunity to say, I told you, but you're choosing not to. I got to know what this is, Scorpios. Please let me know because this is just like the most unique reading I've had to know. Not just for July, like not just for all the 12 signs today, but like every reading I've had in July in 2025. So please let me know what's going on for you guys. I love you so much. This is like, oh, let me give you a chance to do a screenshot if you haven't already. Take this screenshot. Let me know what's going on for you. You have Jupiter in Cancer, which is trining your sign. So good things are coming for you. It's just going to take time. Let Jupiter move through Cancer. Keep your eye on the prize. Follow your heart, Scorpios. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see what comes in for you. And I will be back in just a few minutes for the Sages. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you soon.